You wake up in the morning with your head already full. Before anything even begins, the world is already screaming through the small screen in your hand. Notifications fall like rain, demanding attention, demanding reaction, demanding results. You haven't even had time to breathe, yet you already feel left behind. At this point, you quietly wonder why life feels like a constant chase, as if stopping for just a moment would make everything collapse. But the first thing that actually collapses is you, slowly and silently. You try to follow that rhythm, waking up earlier, sleeping later, stuffing your days with endless to-do lists. You tell yourself it's just about discipline, just about intention. But the harder you push, the emptier it feels. There's a kind of exhaustion that sleep can't fix, a kind of tiredness that doesn't disappear even after you hit your goals. You start to suspect that the problem isn't a lack of effort, but too much pressure. On the screen, your fingers keep scrolling without you realizing it. Video after video, information after information. Everything fast, everything instant. Your brain is forced to be shocked over and over until it goes numb. Small things that used to make you happy now feel flat. This isn't because you're ungrateful, but because the system around you turns everything into an endless dopamine race. The clock on the wall ticks faster and faster. Each second feels like it's chasing your breath. You see others as if they're far ahead, productive, successful, put together. You compare the most exhausted parts of your life to the best highlights of theirs. Without realizing it, you punish yourself. What you're seeing is an illusion, carefully curated, not the full reality of what they live through. You're called lazy because you look like you've stopped. You're called unambitious because you're not always on fire. But what's really happening is chronic exhaustion. Burnout isn't a sign of weakness. It's proof you've been strong for too long on your own. Your body and mind are flashing warning lights, asking for a pause, asking to be treated like a human, not a machine that must stay on. There's a voice constantly echoing in your head. Work harder, don't lose, don't relax yet. That narrative sounds heroic, but quietly toxic. Toxic productivity teaches you that your worth is measured by how busy you look. Rest is seen as laziness. Enjoying life is seen as wasting time. Without realizing it, you're trained to hate your own natural rhythm. The world around you slowly turns gray, not because your life is bad, but because the colors are drained. You're still doing many things, but without feeling. You smile, but it's empty. You move, but you're not truly present. This isn't drama, it's a sign that something is deeply unbalanced between the demands placed on you and your capacity as a human being. You try to fix yourself in the same way every time. More tips, more motivation, more pressure. But it's like increasing the speed of an engine that's already overheating. Instead of moving forward, it breaks down. You start to wonder why every solution always ends at the same place, working harder instead of living healthier. Not all exhaustion can be solved with renewed motivation. Some tiredness needs to be understood, not fought. Dopamine fatigue drains your drive, not because you don't care, but because your brain has been forced to stay reactive for too long. You're not broken, you're just pulled in too many directions without space to recover. Maybe you're living in the wrong world, a world that's too fast for a soul that needs time, a world that's too loud for a mind that needs quiet, a world that celebrates results but ignores inner processes. If you feel like you don't fit, that's not a personal failure. It's a sign the system isn't built for humans. The validation you need isn't another push to get up and run again, but permission to stop for a moment, permission to feel tired without guilt, permission to admit that you've already done as much as you could. Sometimes the bravest step isn't moving forward, but stopping and listening to yourself. Being productive doesn't always mean moving. Sometimes it means knowing to close the screen, when to be silent, when to breathe. Life isn't a checklist that has to be completed perfectly. Some parts of life can't be optimized, only felt, and that's okay. You're not alone in this feeling. Many people smile while carrying the same exhaustion. A tired generation isn't spoiled. It's raised in a world that demands everything at once. Stable but fast, successful but happy, strong but never fragile. That burden is real, even if it's often dismissed. Maybe you've been too hard on yourself, too quick to say you're lacking when you're actually depleted, too focused on fixing yourself until you forget to care for yourself. You don't have to be the most productive version of yourself to deserve respect. You only need to be human, alive, breathing, and surviving. When the world tells you you're falling behind, remember that life isn't a race. Everyone has their own rhythm, their own path, their own timing. Slowing down doesn't mean losing. Being different doesn't mean being wrong. Sometimes, by slowing down, you can finally see the direction more clearly. Tiredness isn't your enemy. It's a message that something needs to change, not be forced. Whether it's how you work, how you think, or how you treat yourself. Ignoring that message will only make your body and mind scream louder later on. The world may never stop being noisy. Notifications will keep coming. Demands will always exist. But you can choose not to answer everything. You have the right to decide what matters, what can wait, and what isn't your responsibility. Challenging the work harder narrative doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing a more human way of living. A life that doesn't only chase outcomes, but also protects the soul. A life that recognizes rest not as a reward, but as a basic need. So if today you feel lazy, try asking yourself again. Maybe you're not lazy at all, just tired of living in the wrong world. And that's okay to admit that. From that honesty, maybe for the first time, real healing can begin.